All right, is everybody there? Hello, we're going to go ahead and get started. I was telling Kylie Trinity that we're probably going to be really short today as far as my part goes in dealing with my son who's been sick. It's been, I've had very limited time to work on today's live session. So I know we're supposed to do a tutorial today, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I think we'll postpone that off until next week. So can you guys see the week 4 Avid slide? All right. So in lesson 9, it's a review of the tutorials from last week and the how to make a souffle. So what you guys need to do for that is just fill in the reflection section from what we filled out as far as the TRF goes, and answer the questions that are at the bottom of that, and then send that in to us. Once you've uploaded that, just upload it with your submission in courseware, and that'll give you credit for it. And then you're going to need to fill out a personal TRF that we'll be using in lesson 12 next week. And for that, I've changed it up a little bit, the TRF. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. I've created a TRF light form that is more geared towards what we do at iSucceed and will be more beneficial, I believe, to you. So what I want you to do when you're filling this out, first of all, when you pull it up, you're going to make a copy of it by hitting the file and then make a copy and just title it with your name and then the TRF light. So you'll change the name on it. And then that'll give you access to go ahead and type on it. So you're going to pick a project or an assignment that you did poorly on. So maybe either you submitted a project blank, because I know sometimes you guys do that because you're in a hurry. And so you got a 0 on it because maybe you were confused about the actual project itself or still had questions, didn't want to really look at it in depth. Or maybe it was a project, or it could even be a discussion that you didn't quite understand the question, and so you didn't get full points from the teacher. So you're going to identify one assignment that you did poorly on, and then you're going to fill out the TRF form based on that particular assignment. So you're going to put what course it was for, who the teacher was, and then what the assignment was. Lesson 10 discussion, or project, or an exam, or whatever it is. And then you're going to copy and paste the assignment directions. So what exactly was it that you were supposed to do? Any concepts that were associated with the assignment, what you know about the assignment, and then what were the steps that you used when you initially completed the assignment, and any areas that you lost points on the assignments. I know a lot of the teachers are including rubrics, so you should have some specifics as to why you got the grade that you got. And then you're going to identify what are the corrective actions that you need to take to resubmit this assignment. So what are the things that you need to fix in order to resubmit it? So you're going to fill out that top portion, and then we're going to go through and walk through your your TRFs next week in the live session. So you'll bring yours with you to our live session next week. Are there any questions on that? I'm taking silence as you're good. The other lesson that we have this week is lesson 10, and that's on careers. And you'll have a career plan that you need to submit. And you'll need to schedule a learning time meeting next week in order to complete lesson 12. It's really important. I've been hammering this in. Don't work ahead. I know I had some people that tried to submit the stuff on the TRF before we actually did it this week, and it just gets sent back to you with a 0. So make sure that you're not working ahead, particularly in Avid. So Um, Just a reminder that if you haven't already, download the free version of Screencastify so that when we get into doing your tutorials and your breakout learning teams, you'll be able to record those and share them with me. So here's the link to do that. And then what I'm going to have us do now, I had one of the other Avid teachers who she had a fair turnout at her live session. And so she went through the practice tutorials. And so I'm just going to play her recording so we can kind of listen to what they did in their live session, since there's only a couple of us in our group here. So here's her session.
Going to practice doing a tutorial together because practice makes perfect, and like we learned with the souffle one, is these are difficult and they're awkward and it takes a lot of time to get used to them. In June of last year, a whole bunch of teachers from iSucceed and the principal
Okay, I'm trying to fix it so you can see it. I'm going to hit play again.
Well, we all went to Denver.
Can you see it now, Trinity?
For an Avid training, and all of us and all of the teachers, I think there's thousands, struggled with filling out TRFs and doing tutorials because they're difficult. And you guys have the disadvantage of you don't do them twice a week, every single week, the entire year.
It's just
so we're going to...
It looks the same as what I had up there, only she's just talking through it at this point. It's just a reduced window. Can you see that? Can you hear her talking? Okay. Kylie, can you see that I'm moving my mouse around on the screen? You can't see. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why. It says I'm presenting. Hang on. So you don't have anything on your screen right now? You can hear that I'm presenting, but you can't see like the Google Slides. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Present now. A window. Okay, now what do you see? You can see the slides now? Okay. All right, we'll try this again.
We're going to practice together, and then you guys are going to get to do them next week for your lesson. And then as the quarters go on, we're going to do more and more of them, and hopefully they become easier. So I need a couple things. When you're doing a tutorial, you always have a presenter, and that's the person that is going over their TRF that is filled out previously. Then you have someone that is recording, and then everybody is asking questions to the one presenter, trying to come up with it. And everyone is taking notes. Now, in a regular tutorial session in a brick and mortar school, there's what's called a tutor, and that's usually the teacher or someone outside the classroom or a college student, and that person comes in and takes notes for the presenter because they're working through the problem and they don't have time to take their own notes, and just kind of guides it. So I'm going to play the role of the tutor. This is going to be a little bit different practice because you're not coming to us with a already filled out TRF. You are going to be filling out the TRF as a class. So I need someone to volunteer to be the presenter. So you'll be the one that is being asked the questions. Then I need someone that will actually help write out things on the TRF. And then everybody else can be taking notes and asking the questions of the presenter. So do I have any volunteers? It won't be scary, I promise. We're all going to work through it together. Does anybody want to be the presenter? And all the presenter means is that you're going to be the one that people are going to be asking questions to. So let me show you real quick what our TRF is going to look like for this. So this is the TRF. The question that you guys have come in with is, Jack and Jill are found dead in their studio apartment. Their bodies are on the floor surrounded by broken glass and a puddle of water. There is no blood. The door is dead bolted and all the windows are locked and intact. How did they die? So that is the original question. Whoever our presenter is coming in together. The rest of us are going to work to help fill this out and come up all the way to our point of confusion. So where we get confused in trying to figure out what happened in this law and order, criminal justice type of case. So I need one person to kind of be the leader on this. And it's not, since it's not an official tutorial, it's more filling out the request form together. It's you'll be working a lot more together. And then I need one person that'll actually physically type out on this form. Okay, awesome, Evelyn. So I'm going to send you the link to this document right now, and then you can open it up on your computer to type on it. Does anybody want to be kind of the leader for this? Or would you guys prefer just to all work through it together? Okay, so Amberly, you guys want to work all together on it? Okay. I will allow that for this time, just because it's our first time going. The only thing is everybody needs to click off their mic and talk, because you're not going to be able to work through this problem together unless you're actually talking. It'll take too long just to type back and forth. So this is what we're going to do. You guys are all going to work together to fill out this TRF pre-work form. and what this normally would be the step that you would do by yourself before coming to your tutorial session. So like this is what you have to do for lesson 9 before you come to your tutorial session next week with your learning team. Do you guys have any questions? Let me see if okay, Emily, you should have permission now to be able to write on it. Okay, I'm going to turn my mic off and let you guys chat a little bit and get this form filled out.
So can you guys hear them talking in the background or not at all? Yeah, I can barely hear them in the background as they're filling it in. So it looks like they're discussing in their key terms. They're talking about it's dead bolted. There's no blood. Means there's, obviously nobody can get in. It's dead bolted. The absence of the blood. There's no blood. I can barely pick up what she's saying at all on my end. I'll have to let the teacher know that when they watch the recording, they're not going to be able to hear what they did as far as the tutorial goes, other than when she was talking. Do either of you guys have any ideas on what exactly happened? No idea, huh, Kylie? Same. Okay. So they're just kind of walking through this, figuring it out. I'm gonna fast forward it here as they're, so we can kind of see their filled in form. So there's broken glass and water. That's a possible weapon. No blood. So they're saying that could be blunt force trauma. Drinking glass that could have been poisoned. the Hunger Games scene. They said that perhaps they both drank poison water. Could be doomsday. Could be because of existing illness. So they're just kind of working through the steps in their process. Could be mutual suicide. Let's see if they get the rest of their stuff here on their form.
Classes.
Okay. Okay, so I think she's going to come back and kind of wrap up here.
Feel comfortable that you'd be able to pick a question you had from one of your classes, fill out these steps, and come to your group to complete a tutorial session next week. So that's awesome. I will share with you some other. The person that came up with this said the answer was that they were fish that died when their bowl broke. So we all assumed reading the question that they were people. And the group that did this, they were a bunch of 7th graders. And this is what their TRF looked like together. So they had the same question. And then their vocab, they wanted to know what studio apartment was and intact. And these were their important things. And then they were able to draw a little picture. You guys couldn't do that because you're typing and stuff. And then their final question is, how is it that they both died in the same strange way? So you guys had pretty much the same point of confusion. So that was awesome, and it's kind of fun getting to do one of these that isn't necessarily just a math problem, even though that's what you'll end up doing more in your tutorials for classes. So I think that will throughout.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that real quick. So as you can see, in other groups, like I was saying, it's nice that in other groups, they're just as quiet as you guys are, because sometimes I wonder if other Avid teachers get more interaction, but I think it's just the nature of what we're doing that the interaction is minimal. And although in an actual brick and mortar, you can have more of that back and forth interaction because you're right there. It's one of those things that we're always going to struggle with in an online format. So just know that we're going to be filling out the TRF. Like I said, for next week, what I want you to do is fill it out based on a project, an assignment that you've already submitted that you haven't done well on that you need to fix. So you're going to work through the TRF Lite form that I've included. I'll include the PowerPoint along with the recording in an email in just a few minutes. So you guys will be working on that. And then that I think is everything. Does anybody have any questions for me? All right. Well, if there's no questions, thank you guys for coming today. I'm sorry that we had to postpone it. I'll get the link out to you right away so you can finish up your Avid lessons for this week. And like I said, if you have any questions, just shoot me a quick hangout, text message, whatever you need to do. And I will have my phone on me as I'm taking care of my son so I can respond to you. Even if I'm not in grading stuff, I can at least, say I got your message and I'll check back with you. So if that's everything, you guys can go ahead and get about your schoolwork.